Jai Hind to all. This is Chelsi Sen, Assistant Professor in IT Department, AKGEC, Ghaziabad. Today we are going to discuss in the subject cloud computing, that is NIST reference architecture. So, discussing about the reference architectures, this is the NIST Cloud Computing Reference Architecture. NIST stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology. The reference architecture is given by the NIST technology in the September 2011. On the recommendations of NIST, the architecture and the template is given that describes the various architecture at the different level of the abstractions. It defines the highly abstractions showing the different functionalities. It also describes the various methods which perform the different specific tasks. So, discussing about the reference architecture, we can call as it is a blueprint to guide different developers in the design of cloud services and the applications. So, how the components communicate with each other, how the deployments but architectures communicate with each other, this will describe through this particular architecture. So, cloud conceptual reference model have various roles that mainly it has the 5 particular roles. So, cloud is a high level architecture. It have the 5 major actors with their roles, responsibilities, activities and the functions in the cloud computing. So, now just understand what are the requirements, what are the use cases and what are the different characteristics of these particular components. These are the various major actors. This is the cloud consumer, cloud provider, cloud broker, auditor and the carrier. Discussing about the cloud components one by one, this is the reference architectures given by the NIST. This is the cloud consumer. Cloud consumers are the particular persons like we. We are the client, we are using the different services over the cloud, over the internet provided by the different service providers. Cloud providers provide the different services, different service orchestrations. It provides various layers like it provides the IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, that is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service under the different service layers. Then cloud service provider also provide the different service management. It provides the different business support, provisioning, configuration, portability and interoperability. It also maintains the security and the privacy of the particular clients. It helps in preventing the unauthorized users to access the particular data. Then we are having a term that is the cloud auditor. What the cloud auditors does, it tests or examines the performance of the cloud service provider's services. Means it tests the services according to the security audit. It also tests according to the privacy impact audit. It also checks whether the performance of the cloud services is provided are good or not. Then we are having a cloud courier. Cloud courier is a term in which it provides the communication, it provides the transportation of the particular informations, storage transformations, all the particular services and the communication are provided by the cloud courier. These are the basic terminology. I'm just giving you the overview of this particular technology terms. Then we will further discuss one by one what are these particular terms are. Then we are having a cloud broker. What the cloud broker exactly does, it provides the services provided by the service providers, or it works as an agent, means it can provide the different services, intermediations, aggregation and the arbitrage. Means it can combine the different services from the different service providers too. So this is how the cloud broker works. Now let's just discuss one by one about these all the terminologies. We have got this particular technology, we are having one reference architectures. Now we are having the 5 mainly components. First one is cloud consumer. What the cloud consumer exactly does. These are the various actors which are having the individual users with the key responsibility in the system functions. So these are the various components which are used for managing and providing the different cloud services. It is used for the deployment, It is used for the orchestration, which it also provides for the management like the business support, portability and interoperability. These are the different services provided by the cloud. Then also it provides the security and the privacy. Now, one individual key roles are the consumers, which acquires and uses the services. Who are that? We are the consumers, which are acquiring different services like Gmail, Google provides different services. We use that particular services. So these are the consumers who acquires the particular services and use that particular services, and on the basis of the uses, it provide they used to pay the particular amount. If they require more amount of services, they have to pay more according to the need or according to the requirement. We can say that the consumer consumes the things. So this is the example for the on demand service based, means whenever we require, we can use the different services. Now then we are having a provider. Who are the provider? Cloud provides the different service providers. These are the vendors who provides the services, different type of services. Like we can have the services like the infrastructure as a service. In short, we can say it is as a IaaS. Then it also provides as a platform as a service, that is called as the PaaS. Then it provides the software as a service, that is called as the SaaS. So these are the different providers, these are the different vendors which provide the different type of services. Now then we are having a broker. Broker is work as the intermediate between the consumer and the provider. Now they hide the complexity of services or create the new services. Means if we are having a multiple services, then it can combine to give a new services. So the broker works like that. Then we are having an auditor. Auditor is provides the independent performance. Independent performance, it is used to help for the security monitoring and for the assessment of the cloud services. Means whatever the services are provided by the cloud, the auditor works as an monitor all these services and assess or examine this particular cloud services. The last, the courier. Cloud courier provides the connectivity and the transport of data. Means the connectivity between the consumer and the provider, or the provider or the broker. So all the connectivity is provided by the cloud courier. So it also provides the connectivity plus the transportation of the data. Means whatever data it requires to the particular user or the provider, it provides the particular data. It also provides the services between the providers and the consumers. Whatever the services consumer want to consume, it provides the communication through the courier by the provider. This is how the cloud courier works. The interaction between the different actors, like cloud courier act as the interaction between the cloud consumer to auditor. It can be provide the communication from cloud consumer to the cloud broker. Then it also provides the cloud broker to the cloud provider. Means it provides the communication path between the cloud provider and the cloud consumer. It is providing a path between the provider and the consumer. Then it also provides the communication path from auditor to audit the particular information. So this is how the cloud courier works. The communication path for the cloud broker to provide the service to the cloud consumer. This is how the cloud courier works. It provides the different interactions between the different actors. These are the different actors we are having. So it provides the interactions between them. Now again, just discuss what's the cloud consumer. One by one we have to discuss. So what the cloud consumer does, it browses the services, browses the service catalog of the provider. Means we used to whenever we used to buy some services or whenever we used to buy any product, we used to browse about that particular product or that particular catalog of this product. So the cloud consumer browses the service catalog of the provider, then requests the services depending on the activities and the user scenario. means whatever the service we required, we request for that particular services, and then setups for the service contracts with the providers. Mean we will require the SLA to specify their performance. SLA stands for service. This provides the agreement between the provider and the consumers. So it can be built according to the services, may be built for the services. It provides this SaaS, IaaS and PaaS. So SaaS consumers may be built based on the number of users, time of use, net, and the bandwidth and the storage volume. Like software as a service will be like charges or amount will be charged on the based upon the number of users, how many number of users are there, how much time they have consumed, and what is the bandwidth of the internet thing, and how much storage requirement or how much volume is requirement for that particular software. So that's how the charges are based. Now, how the infrastructure as a service or the platform as a service are charged according to the processing, storage, and the network resources. Whatever, how much network resources are required, according to that, the services are charged. Then it requires a number of VMs, the number of virtual machines we require, HTTP calls, number of IPs used, and bandwidth and the storage volume. So consumers need SLAs to specify their performance, that how much requirement to fulfill by the providers, that is offered by the cloud producer. In most of the cases that can be negotiable. So this is how the cloud consumer works. These are the different examples of the cloud services. Means if we are having a SaaS consumer, what the SaaS consumers provide exactly, what are the different services SaaS consumers provides. Like it uses the different services, like it uses the document management, like I am the user or I am a SaaS consumer. So these are the different services I may be requirement, like the document management, like the Google Docs we use in day-to-day life, collaboration, Google Collab we have used, CRM, customer relationship management, sales in the sales department, in the finance department, billing, ERP system we required. Means these are the different softwares which we will require for the consumers based. So these are the different services provided by the cloud services. Human resource, social networks, then we are having the financials, content management, how we can manage the content, email and the office productivity. These are the different SaaS consumer who consumes different services provided by the cloud. So these are the SaaS consumers example. Now, if we are talking about the PaaS consumer, means platform as a service, what are the platform we will require for the integration, for the deployments, for the databases. So these are the PaaS consumers who which we used to use in the form of an integration to integrate the different models. Then we are having a different application deployments. We required an environment to deploy particular applications in our particular system. Then we are going to use this particular PaaS consumers. Then we are having a business intelligence, development and the testing. So this will work as a platform as a service. Means we don't need the platform to be installed. We can directly use these services online directly. Now then we will having a infrastructure as a service. These are the different consumers, like it provides as a service like the related to the storage, different service management. Then we are having a platform hosting, how we can host the platform over here. Then we can compute the different applications over here. For the backup and the recovery, we can use the infrastructure as a services and the CDN. So these are the various examples of your different consumers, PaaS consumers, SaaS consumer, and the infrastructure as a service consumers. Now come to the cloud provider. What the cloud provider exactly does? It acquires and manages the different computing infrastructures. Means it runs the cloud software and makes the service available to the interested parties. Means whoever the interested particular person is there or the consumer is there, then it provides the different softwares or different services to the particular users. It also makes the arrangement and the contracts with the consumers. It can be also listed as the SLA, which promises to the consumers or the limitations or obligations that consumer must accept. Providers' pricing policy and the SLAs are not negotiable in most of the cases. So these are the different cloud providers who provides the different services, different activities it provides. In the particular NIST reference architecture, it provides the 5 major roles, like it provides the service deployment, service orchestration. Orchestration means like the management of the different services, like the resources layers, like the physical advanced layer. These are the orchestrations provided by the service cloud provider. Then we are having a cloud service management, then security and the privacy. In the first diagram, we have seen these are the different components of the cloud provider itself. So this is how the NIST had given the different components, sub-components of the particular cloud. So cloud auditor, what cloud auditor does? Cloud auditor performs the independent examine of the service control. Means whatever the services are provided by the cloud providers, it examine that particular services and express their opinion and issues in the evaluation process. Means if any issues is coming in between, they provide the opinion to particular that evaluation in that evaluation process. So ideally, it having a contractual clause that enables the third parties to access that operations. Means if many vendors are there to assess their operations, cloud operations, then cloud auditor will work over there to determine the extent to which the cloud operations are implemented and executed as planned and agreed. So auditor's objective is to verify the performance or conformance to the standard whatever they are providing, or related to the security, related to the privacy controls, performance, or whether they have conformance to the SLA or not. So this is how the cloud auditor checks or verify the performance and examine the particular issues coming in between in the audits. So these are the 3 different audits it does by the cloud auditor, that is the related to the security, related to the privacy, related to the performance audits. In the first diagram, we have seen the different service provided, like over here. The cloud auditor have provided the security audit, then the privacy impact audit, and then the performance audit. And similarly, we have seen the architecture of the cloud provider. It provided the service layers in which we are having a different services like AS, PaaS and SaaS that we have already discussed. Then it also provides the resource abstraction and the control layer, then the physical resource layer. With the cloud service management, to manage the services, it provides the different services management, which will work about the portability and the interoperability, provisioning and the configuration process, plus the security and the privacy too. Now let's discuss about the cloud broker, what the cloud broker exactly does. So integration of the cloud services by the consumers can be too complex. In the case of the consumer, it can't integrate the different services. So it is requested to form a cloud broker rather than from a provider directly. So an entity or a service operated by the provider or the third party. It is a third party, or it operates the different service providers. It integrates the different services into the one particular service. It provides the 3 forms, that is the intermediations. First one is intermediations. What the intermediations does? It presents the services to the consumers. Means through the different catalogs, it providing the different services. It enhances that particular services, means adding some identity management, increasing the performance. So by reporting different performance or enhanced security, it is providing the service to the consumer directly. Means consumer can take the services from the provider, either it can take the services from the broker too. Now the next term is aggregation. What the aggregation does? It combines and integrates the multiple services into one. Means, for example, if the cloud is providing S1 service provided, and S2 services. So what the cloud broker exactly does? It can combine the different features or the 2 different services together to form a one services. So this is how the cloud broker works or integrates the particular services. Now, the next term is arbitrage. What the arbitrage does, the services being aggregated may change or come from the different vendors. So whenever it came from the different vendors, it combines or aggregate the things which will come under your arbitrage process. Now that we have already discussed about the cloud carrier, it acts as an intermediary that provides the connectivity and transport of the cloud services between the cloud consumer and the providers. It also access to the consumer through the public, private network or the telecom providers. So a provider may be set up the SLA, that is an agreement, with the cloud carrier in order to provide the different services with the level of SLA. This is the example, uses example scenario for the broker, how the cloud consumer is using the cloud broker. Through the cloud broker, it is using the different services, like cloud provider providing one services and the second services. So this is how the consumer requests a service from a broker instead of contracting the provider directly. The broker can create the new services by combining the multiple services. This is how the cloud broker works. These are the different architectural components which is provided by the cloud operating cloud, which describes the service deployment, orchestration, management, security and the privacy. It also provides the portability and the interoperability, means issues related to the data or the services factors for the consumer purpose. It does not need to move the data from one place to another. It will maintain the privacy and the confidentiality of the particular data without the lossless of the data. Now it also provides the security and the privacy, which builds the trust and the acceptance in the cloud, its ability to provide the trustworthy and the reliable system. This is how the cloud services provide the whole advantages or the business support to the particular specific business. This is the service orchestration part. It is providing the different service layers, abstraction layer and the physical resource layer. So these are the composition of the these are the different components of the service providers. So it is providing a service layer which is having the interface layer, interfaces for accessing the different services. Then it is providing the resource abstraction, which is going to provide the virtualized resources like hypervisors, means the interfaces related to the virtual machines. So it provides the virtualized resources, hypervisor, VMs, virtual resources in the control layer. Then we are having a physical resource layer. It is providing the interface for accessing the physical resources. In physical resources, we are having the computers, disk, devices, routers, firewall. So these are the different layers, and it is a type like it is showing through the layered architectures, like the OSI provide as the different different layers. So this is how the cloud is providing this different layered architectures. This is the management and the administration, or we can say it is providing the delivery model through the different services. This we have already discussed, like infrastructure as a service provides us the servers, networking, technology, storage and the data centers. It may also used in the virtual technology to manage the resources. We can consume this particular services on the rent basis also, means either of purchasing or buying or installing them into the own data centers. We can use on the rent basis, or either we can pay it for the on the users basis. So this is the most advantages for the infrastructure as a service. So it can be include the dynamic scaling. Dynamic scaling means whenever the customer need more resources than expected, they can get them immediately, probably on the given limit, means whenever they requirement, they can scale up or scale down the particular resources. So this is how the cloud works exactly. Then we are having a platform as a service, and you know what is the platform exactly. A platform is anything you can accomplish something in a simpler or the faster way. Now, as a programmer, if you requirement pre-existing code rather than the starting from the scratch and writing everything. So this is how the platform as a service works. So you might call as a solution for that to integrate the different softwares that provides the everything to the developers that need to build an application, means for both the development also and for the runtime also. So the benefit for the PaaS platform as a service to having a software development and the deployment capability in the cloud, that no management and no maintenance efforts are required, means we does not requirement the maintenance charges or every aspect of the software development from the design, means source code can be management, the deployment softwares can also be management over the cloud. So this is how the platform as a service works. These are the different goals of the platform as a service. It provides the it's easy, it makes your life easiest to run the particular websites or applications. No matter how much traffic you are having, you can just deploy your applications without what to do with it. A platform as a service should handle scaling, means whenever you requirement the scale up or scale down, it can easily manage this particular websites. This is how the SaaS works. SaaS provides as a software as a service in which we are hosting the different softwares centrally or accessing that media or web through the particular web, or it can be a rented basis. So configuration, customizations, all are according to the customers. Then it provides the weekly updates also, feature delivery in the terms of the content management. We can use that particular terms. We can also use the APIs and the protocols for accessing the different internal system, means company's internal systems. So this is how the service can be management. It also includes the business supports, provisioning and configuration, portability and the interoperability. These are the different services. Like in the business support, we are having the customer management, contract management, inventory management, accounting, reporting, pricing and renting. These are the various services which are managed by these particular cloud services. In the provisioning type, we can use as the how the resources changes. We can use the metering, means how much resources you have used. These are worked over the metering, and we are having a monitoring and the reporting too. Then we are having a portability, means we can easily portable our data, our storage or copy of data from one place to the another, bulk of data transfer. These are the different advantages of the portability. Now, if I'm talking about the interoperability, it provides the service interoperability, system portability, app synchronization. If any upgrades comes, then interoperability are provided by the cloud. So this is how the cloud service management works. Thank you.